Do you feel like you're drowning in a fire hose of new AI tools, models, and agent frameworks every single month? Well, guess what? You are not alone. So each week there are new LLMs, new models, new frameworks, over 100 research papers hitting archive. So you know you can't outread this fire hose, right? But you can out-evaluate it. So that's what this series is about, AI Evals. Models are temporary and evals are forever. So in part 1, we're going to cover the 5 W's of AI evals, or evaluations: who, what, where, when, and why. Then in the next video, we're going to get hands-on with a live example. But first, who? Who am I? And who should care? So I'm Nazir. I'm a data science manager at a major US telco. So a telco is, think of AT&T or a Verizon. So I've got 2 decades of experience across product, program, and data management, and I've been leading AI and data teams in both corporate and nonprofit spaces for like several years. And I also teach GenAI for product leaders at Interview Kickstart. So I get to directly interact with smart, ambitious PMs, product managers like yourself. And everything I'm going to share today is taken directly from my experience. So this series is for AI product managers, applied MLEs, and AIE, so AI engineers, and data scientists. Basically, if you're working at the intersection of business problems and AI systems, and you're deciding which AI or what AI to build and how to measure whether it works, Evals is going to be your best friend. Okay, but first, let's talk about AI evals. So what are evals? So think of evals like pop quizzes for your model. You got an input, then the model, and then the output. So the eval is where you grade that output using some sort of a rubric. So let's take an example. Back when I worked for Amazon Alexa, we'd get like 100 million utterances, or basically questions or commands that come in every single day. And some of the popular questions were, can dogs eat apples? Can dogs eat chocolates? So as you can see from this table, sometimes Alexa would say yes. Sometimes it would give a lot more detailed answers like, well, guess what? The open code that you put there, the annotation, would be insufficient detail provided, because what are you saying yes to? If you say, can dogs eat onions? Yes, but only in small amounts. This is wrong. It actually cannot even eat onions. So you get the idea. The model's answers, it sounds smart, but they're not always correct or complete. So this is where evals come in. They help you measure what quality means for those answers. So in practice, an eval pipeline, you start with the open codes, what's in the last column here in this table. So you jot down initial reactions like correct, partially correct, insufficient detail. Then later on, these rubrics will get more structured and automated. The idea here is really simple. If you can measure your output quality consistently, you can improve your model systematically. So now let's talk about the where. Where do evals fit in? In a previous video, I actually talked about the 5 generations of AI. So there's legacy AI, which is type 1. This is from the 1990s. And there's classical AI, which is machine learning, the machine learning algorithms like decision trees, random forest, XGBoost, and so on. And then there's neural AI, that's from 2012 onwards. The small language models. Then there's the Gen AI piece. This is where, and that's the LLMs, the multimodal language models, and so on. And type 5, which is the Agentic AI. So this is where you have multiple LLMs talking with each other. No matter the type of AI that you're doing, evals are always needed. Now the evals vary depending on the type of AI that's actually being used, but the concept stays the same. It's structured and it's a repeatable way of assessing the quality of your AI model. For today, what we're going to be focusing on is the Gen AI or Agentic AI piece. So that's type 4 and type 5 AI. So you learn evals here and those skills transfer forward. Now the next question you're going to ask is, okay, when do I apply evals? There's a crisp DM lifecycle. It's an oldie but a goldie. It's from the, believe it or not, the 1990s in data mining. So any AI product, it's a variant of the traditional software development lifecycle. It's more iterative, but essentially there's 6 stages: business understanding, data preparation, modeling, evaluation, and deployment. Where evals come in is in stage 5, in evaluation, and that determines whether you need to loop back and iterate again, or it actually means you can release it, deploy it, but then you need to do evals in production, like we were doing it with Alexa. Every single day, we'd have annotators assessing a tiny fraction of the 100 million utterances that we would get. So now the question you're going to ask is, okay, great. Why do evals matter? If there's only one reason for you to master evals, it's this. They give you the highest return on investment, the highest ROI on AI and any type of AI performance improvement. Without evals, you're really flying blind. You might suspect you could do like vibe assessments. You feel like the model's poor in performing, but you can't pinpoint why. With evals, you not only see where it's going wrong, why it's going wrong, and what the gaps are to fix it. So if you look at what industry leaders say, whether it's OpenAI, Anthropic, the CPOs, the chief product officers themselves, that AI product evaluation is now a core product skill. Well, especially with the MIT study that came out, 95% of something of GenAI projects fail in production. A good chunk of the reasons is because the ROI isn't there, the performance isn't what they're expecting. There are other non-technical reasons, but you could address a good chunk of the reasons why products fail. Do you want good AI products? Go learn how to do evals. Even if you're not highly technical, knowing how to evaluate lets you direct engineers towards fixes that actually matter. And it even protects your career. Remember, as models change, evals give you a durable skill, one that outlasts the hype of a particular model or architecture. And by the way, protecting your career is something I hear about constantly from people trying to upskill in AI. This is one of the reasons I genuinely love teaching, because the online course space, it can feel incredibly slippery. So most people tell me the same story. When they find something structured, it's not deep enough. When it is deep, it's often taught by people who haven't actually built or shipped AI systems in Faang scale environments. Some of the programs are hands-on, but then something else is missing. The context, the rigor, the real career guidance. And that's what you get. That's why I enjoy working with Interview Kickstart, because the program is actually all four of these things. It is structured, it's hands-on, and it's taught by real practitioners. And it's already helped thousands of professionals transform their careers. So before you make this commitment, I'd recommend attending Interview Kickstart's free live webinar. Meet the team, ask your questions, see for yourself whether it's the right fit for where you want to go. Okay, so now let's go back to evals. So this is the last thing that we need to cover. You remember at the beginning I said models are temporary and evals are forever? To see why, let's go back to 2011 and the ImageNet challenge. So ImageNet, if you don't know what that competition was about, the challenge was for a computer vision model to identify 1,000 classes or categories. So classes or categories would be like Uber categories. So think of animals, vehicles, and foods. But you can't just say, hey, this is a car, this is a dog. No, you're going to say, if this picture was an animal, you'd also have to say, well, it's an animal, a mammal, and dog, and you'd have to get even more fine-grained than that. You'd have to specify the breed and the subbreed. So your Vision AI classifier would have to say animal, mammal, dog, Siberian husky. And by the way, you'd be wrong if you classified it as an Alaskan husky. And remember, there's over 100 dog breeds. And do you know the difference between a Chow Chow and a Shih Tzu? Honestly, I certainly don't. And so image classifiers also had a similar problem, but their error rate was like 26%. That's the top 5 error rate. So in 2012, AlexNet dropped that to almost 15% error rate. By 2015, as you can see in this chart, models had beaten human-level performance, HLP, all using the same eval framework. The models have changed. The models were temporary, but the evals, we're still using it. The eval metric that I mentioned, the precision at K, where K equals 5, we're no longer using these neural net models, but we're still using the same evals. So if you remember one thing, if you forget everything that I've said, models come and go, but evals stick around. They are your compass in this fast-moving AI jungle. So thank you everyone for watching part 1. In the next episode, we'll actually build an AI eval together on a dummy set. And remember, models are temporary, evals are forever.